Good afternoon, people. Today we'll be seeing how do we use Moodle and set a question paper to the students. So type the Moodle link of your institute and press enter, and then you can type your username, password given to you, and then you can sign in. So this is my Moodle page. Today we'll be setting a question paper for one of the subjects we deal. So these are the subjects list you see. So we can click on the subject, and then there's already a topic I renamed into exam, and this is how we rename, and then click enter so it gets saved. And I'll remove this now, and then so you can add an activity which is assignment or a quiz. And then now we'll be dealing with question banks. Well, in a quiz we can actually set a questions, but a question bank is much useful because when we wanted to take a certain questions from a question bank and put it into part A or part B, question banks are really helpful. So we'll be creating a question bank now. So click on the question bank and check for the categories. So in categories, this is for the project management. The name of the category, say we'll keep it as final exam is a category. And then I have already made 3 subcategories. You can add a subcategory here telling part E or sample paper as a category, and ABC, and then you can select under which category this comes under and then add the category. So now here we have got the categories in final exam, part A, part B, part C. So after that we will go to the questions in the question bank. So I'll see how the questions are first created. First, let me show you how do we import a questions. You can click export questions from another subject, and if you want to import it, you can click import and select the format in which the question paper is made, and then choose. And we will select sample paper, and then we will click upload this file and import the questions. So we see 16 questions are there in the paper and they were imported, and we give continue. So here they come pretty much into the same categories. Question in the question bank, here we click questions and we select the category of the questions. I selected part C, and there are many questions. So if you want to delete a question, you can like click here and you can delete a question. This delete, the questions are deleted. And if you want to add a question instead of importing a question, I'll show you how to do that. So for example, part A we gone, you want to add a question in part A. So create a question. It shows what type of a question you wanted to create: multiple choice, true or false, matching, short answers, essays. So let's say we have to create multiple choice questions. Add. So how many continents are there in the earth? Are there? That's all. How many continents are there? So the answers here, you can give a feedback. The default mark is how many marks you're going to get for this, for answering this question. Shuffling the choices, yes, the choice between A, B, C, D will be always shuffled. So here I'm giving choice 1 as 7, and I know this is a right answer, so I'm clicking 100% mark if you answer that. And choice 2, 3 continents, so it's wrong, so none, no marks. Choice 3, 9 continents, none, no marks. Choice 4, 6 continents, no marks. And if you want more choices, you can click here. 3 more choices would be added, and if you leave a choice as blank, it would be automatically deleted. And I'm not going to explain these advanced options, so just click save changes. You must give a value here. I'll give as the same question name. I will give how many consonants are there. That is a question name and also text with the question. Save changes. It's saved. Now someone may have a doubt that what if you wanted a complicated questions, like you want to add an image to the question, or you want to add a graph to the question, which is very much possible. So for example, you want to find out, recognize this country. So say Nigeria map, Nigeria flag I am taking. So save this image. So I wanted to ask a question, create a question, multiple choice, add. What country flag is this? Copy paste. And here you can see a lot of options. You can add picture, you can add video, you can add voice, you can record a video, you can attach a small document as a question, and there are also like expansion where you can have so many of these, and then you can also give a screen reader help. This helps for the people who are disabled, and but I'm just giving an image here. So an image, you just have to enter a URL, or you can browse for the image. You can upload an image. My picture is here, Nigeria. I'm saving as upload. Okay, so it should be in the center, middle, save image. Nigeria is the description of the image. Description not necessary. Save image. Yes, so this is how it comes. What country flag is this? Okay, so the answers are going to be Nigeria. So every time the option 1 will not be option 1, it keeps shuffling, because we have picked this option, shuffle the choice. It may be, for some people it may show as B, it may show as C, but however it is auto corrected by computer. And second, I'm saying in Ireland. This actually looks pretty much close to Ireland, and I would give Ghana, and say I would give Poland, and yeah, I'll just save changes. So if I preview the question here, this is a preview. These are the options. Once you can manage tags, which is an advanced option. You can edit the question, you can duplicate the question to create a similar question, and this is to preview the question, and this is to delete the question. I'm giving a preview question here. This is how it looks for the student who's answering. What country flag is this? He'll select the answer and he'll submit and finish. So that's how it looks for the student. So this is how you keep creating a questions in question bank. I'll come again from the beginning. We would go to the subject that you're assigned for, and then at the bottom you find question bank, and in the question bank there is no rule to create categories, but it's good to create categories. Click on the categories at the bottom and create categories. Part D under the category of final exam, and then you can add a category. So when you go to questions, you choose the category, which category you want to add a question. You want to add to part A, select part A, and then you start adding questions. So I've got already 7 questions here in part A, 5 questions in part B, 2 questions in part C. Now we are done with setting a question bank. Now we have to set an exam. So I go to my subject, I click on my subject again, and I see topics here. I rename the topic to end semester exam, and I add in an activity. In this, let me make it a bit complicated. I will add quiz. The quiz is called final exam part A. plus part B. So I'm gonna give multiple choice for part A and part B. So I've added the name of the quiz is part A and part B. The description of the quiz is please answer in 1 hour time. The questions are of multiple choice, fill in blanks, and true or false. Always get this error while typing. Okay, so the timing of the exam next. So when do you want this exam to be enabled? For example, today it is about 2:30 p.m. And I'll say, for example, you can enable this from 2:30 to say 4 o'clock. 16:30. So this is a 2 hours time in which the student can come and attend the exam and go. He may come at 3:30 and write, he may come at 4 o'clock and write, but he may also come at 2:30 and write for two long hours. So if you want to restrict the particular time for the students, you can click enable the time limit and you can set 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 5 minutes to write an exam. So which means whenever he logs into this exam, he has only 5 minutes to submit. And when time expires, the open attempts will automatically be submitted. This is the most safer option. And then grading. So how many marks to pass? Okay, say like 20 marks, 10 marks to pass, and attempts allowed. How many times he can rewrite a quiz? We'll say only one time he writes a quiz, or we can give 2 chances for each student. So maximum upload, I'm giving 1 here. Layout is each page has to show every question, or each page can show 2 questions, or each page can show 5 questions. That's up to the teacher. So I'm giving each page every question. And these are all advanced options. And I'm going to tell you another option that we must do, review options. In that, I suggest to remove all the ticks so that the student will not be able to know whether the attempt he has made is correct or wrong, because the multiple choice are instantly corrected by the computer. If you remove all the ticks, he will not be able to see. And extra restrictions on attempt. So if you want to set an extra password for certain students, you can like click on edit. I'm giving APPLE Apple. So Apple is my new password for the exam to enter, and you can save and display. So this is how like the part A, part B is made, and it says no questions are being added. Now how do we add a questions? Now what we did was we set up a quiz. Now adding questions is, we just click here, no questions have been added, edit quiz, click on edit quiz, and then you see a screen like this. Okay, now you type part A, enter. Now you're adding a question. There are 3 options. One, you're adding a question, which means you're typing a question and giving it to him. And then you're adding a question from a question bank which is already fed. But if you wanted to add a random question from a question bank, for example, you have 10 questions and you want any 5 questions to appear for students, which most of the cases we deal like this. Then you click on a random question, and then which category the random question should come from. Part A. There are 7 questions in question bank. I want students to get any 3 questions from it. So I will set number of random questions 3. So out of 7, each student gets a different question, and then add random question. So as you see, random of part A, random of part A, random of part A. 3 questions are being set. You can also shuffle between them if you want. And they're all 1 mark, 1 mark, 1 mark. You can also edit the mark here if you wish. Then now I'm adding part B. Again, a random question. Part B I selected. How many questions are there in part B? 5. In 5 questions, I am adding again 3 questions I'm adding. So add, okay, not the tag. 3 questions I'm adding. Add random question. So in this, we have part B random and the random from part B, random from part B. So you can add a section tag here. So you get this new heading here, which you can claim as part B. So if you rename capital letters, okay, part B, enter. Always press enter to save it, and part A, part B, it's done. And so you're giving save. So the maximum mark, part A carries 111 mark, part B I am changing it to 2 marks, enter, 2 marks, enter, 2 marks, enter. Either you can click here or you can change in question bank while creating a question. You can also shuffle the part B. So it's like totally 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 marks. Save. So yes, so we successfully created a quiz. Part A plus part B is 9 marks. Now I'll do a bit more to this. I'm adding another resource. It's quiz. Adding the quiz. It says part C, essay questions. Oh. Part C, essay questions. Please refer the questions here and upload the file in assignment. Because if it's writing, we need to create an upload box, which I think assignments is good because we can instantly correct, and we can also set the timings for that. I gave pretty much the same time for this, and grades to pass, like no grades to pass, 0 or 1, nothing, and then tries only one try, and then review options, we can all take off the review options. It's like for the beginners it may take a little time because there are a lot of options in the Moodle, but the advantage with Moodle is everything has this question mark here. If you click on that, it shows what it is and in detail you can read. It's all easy understandable language. You can also select 1 decimal or 2 decimal grades to give after your marks. So there are a lot of options here which by default are good. So you can just save and display. So this thing, and we did not add any questions here. So let's click on edit quiz. Now I'm doing it quickly. Part C, enter, add a random question. Part C has 2 questions. Well, I'm giving 1 random question from both parts. Add a random question. So there's only 1 random question that comes in part C, and or you can delete it if you want, and you can add a random question out of 2 random. You can say like 2 random questions. So now we have 2 questions and 2 random questions are coming. You can always increase the size of your question bank. You can take the number of questions that is coming from a question bank should be less than the total number of questions, obviously. You can give like 5 questions out of 10, but you cannot give 10 questions out of existing 5. So it's a simple thing, and add a random question, and this is like 10 marks. This is also like 10 marks question, so carrying it like 20 marks, or here you can like give 0, 0. You can also give 0 marks if you want. I'm just showing the possibilities. And save. So part A, we have created final exam part A plus part B, part C essay questions, and if the students are writing it by paper and uploading, I always suggest you to go to assignment, because the PDF files can be opened then and there and read without downloading as a bunch of files. So I'm creating an assignment, I'm adding it, assignment name, upload part C, part C questions, are uploaded here in .pdf format only, and the maximum file size is, I'm giving 5 MB as a maximum file size. Here up as a PDF, here only in .pdf format. Okay, so display the description of the course or not, it's up to you. And yeah, you can also enable timing. There's a cutoff date for an assignment, and which you can enable if you want, and then there's a reminder for you to grade. So this is the due date, due time you can set. So the submissions from today 2:30 to any time of 4:30. I will not accept any submissions after 4:30, so I gave 4:30, which means the cutoff date is like, if you enable, which means they are considered as late submissions. Instead of typing the date, you can also press the calendar here to select. No, today is, I'm selecting 29. Okay. Submission types is online text. You want them to submit a text? No, that is not the purpose we created this. We wanted them as a file submission. And then maximum number of files, how many files they can upload. You can give 1, 2 or multiple number of files, depends upon your own server. One file I'm giving, the limit I said to 5 MB. And then what are the file types that it has to choose. Now I always here chose a PDF document, because you can edit the PDF document without downloading it. So I make it as a PDF document, or just click document files and save changes. Feedback types, you can annotate feedback on the feedback, and then you can comment on the feedback. This is a feedback that the staff gives. We don't need feedback, we don't need, now we can annotate it if you wish so. And submission settings, requires the students to click on a submission button. Yes. Requires the students accept the submission statement. Yes. Attempts reopened. Never. We should not let them attempt. Group submission settings, there's no group submissions. This is all like grading. It's like point grades. Maximum is like 20 marks we have set. This is all a bit advanced settings, which if you want you can fill it, but usually not for a very beginners. So save and display. So now we see like end semester exam, we see like 3 parts, and you see this as a quiz. Now we'll look into this thing, how it looks like. Part A, you can always preview the quiz here. Remember, I gave a password for the quiz. The password is apple, APPLE, and then if you click, it starts the timer. And so here is the timer, and this is how a student looks. There will be another tutorial for how the students have to open, and then what they can see and how they fill as. So I'm just going back, and I hope you have understood how to make and set a question paper. Thank you.